We going big. We going for it all this year.
In the corner, and that one is money.
3-4 Welker in the corner, he knocks it down once again.
Smith was just automatic from beyond the arc.
Live from a snowy Spartan arena, it's a midweek matchup of Titans as the Blackhawk Christian Braves travel to take on the Homestead Spartans. Good evening, everybody. Braxton Hall along with Atticus Dean, and we come on the air with some breaking news tonight. The Blackhawk Braves are going to be down two of their key players. Kellen Pickett, a 6'10" forward, not going to be in the starting lineup tonight with illness. Bryce Lacrosse going to be joining him on the sidelines also for this game. So it's going to be next man up mentality for the Braves.
Yeah, Braxton, two huge losses for this Braves team. And like you said, it's really going to have to be the next man up mentality if this team wants to come away with the win.
Meanwhile, Homestead, they are fully healthy coming into this game. They're coming off a big win in conference play last time out against Southside. And it's a game that was pretty tight early on. Zach Belcher was putting up points for the Archers. And it was tied 25-25 at the half before Homestead started to open things up.
Yeah, Belcher really just got into a rhythm early in that game, but just a back-and-forth battle between those two teams, all knotted up at halftime. I was really not sure who was going to come away with the win up till halftime.
Yeah, it was a tight game, but in the second half, Homestead really opened things up. The three ball started falling. The offense overall was clicking, and the defense as well was playing so tight. Southside couldn't get anything done.
With the third quarter being as close as that first half was, it was really the fourth quarter that just opened things up for the Spartans. The Archers went ice cold, and the Spartans defense ramped up the intensity, and then offensively the Spartans just got into a rhythm and never looked back and was able to come away with the win.
In the end, Southside only put up 12 points in the entirety of that second half. With that, we're going to step away, but don't go anywhere. On the other side, Owen Kruger and Malachi Stout are standing by for the OPS pregame show.
Rethink your limits.
Welcome inside Homestead High School, and thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Owen Kruger, and I'm joined by Malachi Stout for the pregame OPS show. Now, Malachi, it's a regular Tuesday night. You know, it's not a conference game, and neither of these teams play each other in the postseason. However, it feels like every time this year, when these two teams meet, all eyes in Northeast Indiana are on them to see who's going to win.
Yeah, Owen, you mentioned everybody seems to have their eyes on this game despite it not being too meaningful for conference play. But these are two of the premier teams in Northeast Indiana, and every time they face each other, it seems like it's a good matchup. So there's a good reason why everybody seems to focus on this game.
Now, let's talk a little bit about the actual history behind these two teams, because from 1970 to 2016, these teams only played each other one time. However, since 2016, they've played each other every single season, and with a few exceptions, it's been a really close, quite tight, competitive game.
Yeah, it's been close throughout the history, but Homestead did have a very commanding lead early on in the series. But Blackhawk, their basketball program, has really just stepped their game up in the last few years, and they've won two of the last games, including a game 2 years ago where they came into Homestead's home arena and just blew the doors off of them. And so I think it'll be very interesting to see this game back at Homestead Arena, see if the Spartans can try to get the game back and get the series going back their way.
It certainly should be a great one tonight. Later on the show, we'll hear from Braxton Hall as he sits down with sophomore Mac Welker, who also happens to be Homestead's leading scorer and rebounder. And we'll take a look into Homestead's opponent, Blackhawk Christian. Stay tuned on the OPS pregame show. Welcome back to the OPS pregame show. I'm Owen Kruger, joined by Malachi Stout, as we come into the game that's the premier matchup on this city. Now, Malachi, let's turn our attention to Blackhawk. They come into this game 11-2 and have shown themselves to be not only one of the best teams in Northeast Indiana, but in the entire state.
Yeah, Blackhawks really one of those teams that's seen themselves on the rise throughout the years. We saw them now win 2 state champions since 2021 and have now risen up the ranks up to 3A. And they've really shown that they can hang with any class, and they'll look to continue that here tonight against a 4A powerhouse in Homestead.
Despite being such a good team, they are down a little bit without their 6'10 senior Kellen Pickett, so they might have to change up their game style a little bit.
Yeah, he's going to be a big blow for them, both offensively and defensively. He's such a huge part of this team, but they'll look to other players such as Junior Briggs, Pardon, and others on this team to help step up the load offensively, but also defensively, as Kellen Pickett averages 3.5 blocks per game, and they're desperately going to need some rim protection in his absence.
It'll be interesting to see how they kind of are able to change up their game plan to try and stay up with the Spartans. Later on in the OPS pregame show, we'll see a sit-down with from Braxton Hall with the super sophomore Mac Welker, who is Homestead's leading scorer and leading rebounder. Be sure to stay tuned to the OPS pregame show.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10349 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco's specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carryout by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
Welcome back to the OPS pregame show. I'm Owen Kruger, and I'm joined by Malachi Stout. And Malachi, let's switch it over to the Spartans a little bit. After starting off a little shaky with 4-3 on the record, coming back from Christmas, they've been 5-1 since. I mean, really been able to bounce back. What specifically has Homestead been able to do to make this change this kind of in the middle of the season?
Well, it's really just been their defense, which really just turned things up a notch. Their offense has looked good throughout the year, but their defense is just looking completely just dominant throughout the last 6 games. They've only allowed over 50 points once in a tough loss against Zionsville. And throughout that whole holiday tournament, there was just a shift in this Homestead team towards more physical and just dominating defense. And we especially saw that last time out against Southside, where they shut the Archers down. And I think they can continue that in this game and just throughout the rest of the year.
Yeah, we've talked numerous times about the super sophomore Mac Welker, but now it's time to hear from him, as Braxton Hall was able to sit down with him earlier this week. That's going to do it for the OPS pregame show. We'll send it up to Braxton Hall and Atticus Dean in the booth right after this.
So take me back to last season as a freshman. You find out just a couple months out of middle school that you not only make the varsity team, but even end up starting most of the year. What were those moments like, finding out you made the team and would later be a starter?
Yeah, as my freshman year went on, it was like a roller coaster of emotions, you know. I started off playing JV and just working hard, and eventually got brought up, and then just from there went back down to JV, and then eventually during sectionals I started starting. So then felt like I got a lot accomplished that year and just more to come.
And how has that experience from last year helped you this season?
I've been more prepared for the level of physicality and the speed of the game, and I've also got to get a better relationship with Coach Johnson going because of this.
And what's the favorite message Coach Johnson has given to you 2 years into your time here? What's the message he's really given to you?
He's really just pushed me to be the best I can be. He says I have the talent, I just got to keep working hard and I can get there one day.
How have the upperclassmen on the team welcomed you into the squad and into the team dynamic, both last year and this year?
They've really been mentors to me, especially building relationships from this year to last year. Some of the juniors that are now seniors have took me under their shoulder and just really gave me life lessons to learn on and off the court. so it just gave me like a good example, good leaders.
Do you have a favorite moment from your 2 years with the team so far, whether on the court or off?
Probably last year would be against the Columbia City game. Got good minutes that game, hit a couple big shots, and just really just get good to get back because we lost by a lot at the beginning of the season, and then towards the end we got the big win in sectionals, and I'm hoping this year we can actually win our sectional.
And this season you're the leading scorer and rebounder for your team. What part of your game do you think helps you be the most successful?
Just like the unseen hours, really. All the work I put in over the summer and in the off season is it's good to start seeing something finally pay off.
Shifting toward tonight, Blackhawk has had the Spartans number the last 2 years. What's been the biggest focus for you going into this game?
Really just sticking to our game plan, doing as coach says, and if we just execute enough, we'll have the talent and ability to beat them.
And tonight you're going to be matching up in the post against an absolute giant, Kellen Pickett, a 6'10" senior for Blackhawk. How do you go about shutting him down in the post?
Yeah, Kellen's a great player, so it's just going to be a team effort. We can't try and do our own thing, just stick to the game plan like I said and get the job done.
And then finally, as we sit just past halfway through the regular season, what are the biggest goals for you and for the team the remainder of the year?
Obviously to win a sectional and just from there see where that takes us.
Well, Mackie, thank you so much and best of luck tonight and the rest of the year.
Thank you.
Rethink your limits.
For more than 30 years and 2 generations, RT and Colin Green have given Fort Wayne more than proven personal injury representation. They have shared everyday life with the people they serve. These deep ties give RT, Colin, and every member of Team Green Law the local Fort Wayne knowledge and insight to know the best way to help you get the recovery you deserve. See the difference local experience makes. For a free consultation, visit us online at teamgreenlaw.com. Team Green Law, for you, with you.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10349 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco's specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carryout by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
What limits you? Too small, too old, insecure, broken. You have no limits. Rethink your limits.
Tonight, the Homestead Spartans take on Blackhawk Christian. Both teams looking to keep the hot streak going.
Now has space for a 3, and he is dialed in. He's up to 12 points. Kuhlman catch and shoot 3 is money, Jake Kuhlman.
Spartans, Braves, coming to you right now inside Spartan Arena.
The Homestead Spartans. Good evening once again, everybody. Braxton Hall along with Atticus Dean. and Atticus. This has become one of the biggest non-conference matchups in the area the last few years, and we expect no different tonight.
Yeah, Braxton, here tonight, both teams are going to have to pull through, especially the Braves, as they're down a couple people, so they're going to have to find a way to win and pull off a big win like they just did a couple years back.
Yeah, you mentioned they came into Spartan Arena 2 years ago, and they got a big win here. They're going to have to do it short-handed tonight, and let's take a look at the starting lineups for this game as you see them being announced, and there they are on your screen. So it's a little bit different for Blackhawk. 2 players that get a lot of minutes not available for this game, as Kellen Pickett and Bryce Lacrosse are both going to be out. So here's the starting lineup. It'll be Briggs, Pardon, Jaden O'Neill, Bryce Sefton, Drake Sefton, and Luke Mansfield in the starting 5.
The Braves definitely a different look than they're used to, but still a group of guys that are very capable of pulling off a win in a game of this magnitude, so don't expect the Braves just to back down that easily.
Well, and 2 juniors in the starting 5, 2 seniors as well. Of course, Drake Sefton, the lone freshman out there for Blackhawk. We'll see how he's able to handle the big stage. He's performed well all season in his freshman campaign. Then meanwhile, for Homestead, it's going to be the same starting lineup they've had pretty much the back half of this season so far. Jake Kuhlman, Josh Rogers, Aiden Good, Mac Welker, who you just heard from a little bit ago, and then Wyatt Weaver rounding out the starting lineup.
And ever since Coach Johnson made the switch to Aiden Good in the starting lineup, the Spartans, their play is elevated to a level they have not seen yet this season. Their defensive intensity has picked up. Their defense that was already great has gotten even better, and they're more of a defensive-minded team than before, and it's worked well as they've been pretty dominant as of late.
One of the big talking points coming into this game was who was going to be guarding Kellen Pickett in the paint for the Spartans. Would it be the senior Wyatt Weaver, or would it be the sophomore Mac Welker? Welker a little bit taller than Weaver, but maybe a little bit more inexperienced. But now Homestead doesn't have to worry about that with Pickett unavailable for this game with his illness. That should open things up for Homestead down low.
Yeah, the Spartans, they're going to be able to try to own the paint more than they would have if Pickett were here, and expect Weaver and Welker to get way more paint touches than they would have. But Welker can still stretch the floor, so they're not going to shy away from that. But definitely the Spartans are going to try to dominate the paint.
Of course, Welker coming off a 17-point game last time out against Southside when he was Homestead's leading scorer. He is their leading home scorer overall this season as well. So we're ready to go at Spartan Arena. This game, it's lived up to the billing more often than not since the series resumed in 2016. And we should be in for a good one tonight. Welker in the circle for the Spartans. Luke Mansfield out there for the Braves. Here we go from Spartan Arena, and Homestead controls the tip. Their offense going to get the first crack at it out on the floor.
And if the Spartans can start off hot early, that will help them so much. There's some games where they start off too slow and their opponent can build a sizable lead, and the Spartans are going to have to try to fight back if that were to happen. So if the Spartans can get a couple of good possessions, that'll be huge for them.
Kuhlman has it here for Homestead, trying to find the open man, passes it out to Good. Good now gets it out to Weaver. A Homestead offense that is very average when it comes to points per game, but they can shoot the ball so well. They take their time out on the floor. As Rogers has it here, already a long possession, up over 40 seconds to begin this game. Welker passes it back out to Weaver. Both these two trying to get involved in the paint already. Aiden Good's going to pop a three-pointer off the mark, so Blackhawks defense holds on the first possession.
And a great defensive possession there by the Braves, really doing a great job at running the Spartans off the three-point line, making sure they have to put the ball on the floor and try to drive for some tough shots.
Pardon with it for the Braves. Can't quite convert, but those are the looks they're going to need him to get tonight. As here comes Homestead on the other side. Rogers will have it and passes off to Kuhlman. Kuhlman spinning around, passes underneath to Good. A little bit of a bobble, so Homestead will reset it. Welker to Weaver, floats it over top to Kuhlman. Of course, Kuhlman can get it done in the paint as well, even though he doesn't have quite as much size as Weaver or Welker. Kuhlman again with the ball here for Homestead. Weaver spinning around on that right block. Good, cutting behind, and they've tried that a couple of times. Finally, it works.
And the Spartans are going to have to try to hit those cuts anytime they get the opportunity, as right now the Braves defense unrelenting, just constant physical pressure and battle down low.
Bryce Sefton's going to pop the three-pointer here for Blackhawk. He can't connect. So now Kuhlman will bring it up the floor for Homestead. Kuhlman passes out to Aiden Good. Now the toss to Rogers. Maybe thought about it for a second. Instead has a lane and an easy lay-in for him.
And right now the Spartans just trying to attack downhill any chance they get off the screen. Rogers curling it tightly as Parton trying to make sure he does not get the three-point opportunity.
Parton gonna fake the jumper, passes out. The three-pointer is off the mark. Homestead gets the long rebound. Welker thinking about pushing the pace. Now goes to Kuhlman. So Blackhawks offense stagnant for 2.5 minutes in this one. Of course, without their leading scorer, Kellen Pickett scores more than 20 per game. Weaver has it here, passes out to Good. Welker's gonna try the deep three-pointer, and he rattles it home. So Mac Welker starts the night high.
And Welker there just showing why he is so good, able to stretch the floor there. A deep three through the Braves defender's hands, nothing but net.
Parton has it here for the Braves. He passes it out. Again in his hand. They're clearly trying to run the offense through him. He tries the three-pointer, can't connect. Possession will continue. O'Neal there to clean it up. So back in the hands of Parton, gonna take the jumper, and ball still loose. Homestead comes away with it, so Blackhawk really forcing the shots from Parton.
And Parton has the ability to take over a game in an instant, but right now it just seems like he's trying to force some of his shots. If he can just slow down and get into a rhythm, that'll help the Braves offensively.
He's the second leading scorer for Blackhawk this season with just over 10 per game, so they're going to need a big night for him in this one. Three-pointers up, in and out. Again, Braves not able to connect, but they're getting some good looks.
Yeah, right now the Braves, they're getting the shots that they want, just can't get them to fall. If the Braves can start knocking down their shots, it can get really close and it could be a shootout, but right now the Spartans doing a great job at making sure the Braves don't get any easy looks.
Bryce Sefton passes it off to O'Neal. And now this time, Drake Sefton passes to the corner. O'Neal thought about it for a second. Good comes in. It goes out of play, and they're going to say last touch by O'Neal, so it'll be Homestead ball.
And there on that possession, the Braves had good ball movement. They had good flow on offense, but O'Neal just kind of lost the handle of it. Ain't good jumping up on the opportunity to force the turnover.
So Jake Kuhlman will walk it up the floor here for Homestead. To Good. Now Wyatt Weaver. Aiden Good wide open underneath. Defense closes in, but goes over O'Neal to bank it home.
And right now, Aiden Good, just another basket cut, wide open. Honestly, hesitated a little too much, waited for O'Neal to get in front of him, but still able to knock it down, but solid defense there by the Braves.
More than midway through this first quarter, Blackhawks still yet to score, and another possession comes up dry.
Right now, the Braves just really struggling to get anything going offensively, while the Spartans, it seems to be the opposite right now. Seems like almost anything the Spartans throw up is going in, and Spartans have the ability to do this at any given moment.
Coach Roth has to be thinking about using a timeout. His team down 12-0 early in this one. Almost the reverse of the last time Blackhawk was here 2 years ago. They were the squad that got out to the early lead, seized all the momentum. Three-pointer on the other side. Blackhawk can't answer back. Ball still loose. Possession continues. They are doing a good job of crashing the offensive glass. The three-pointer off the mark that time from Sefton, and then we're going to have a foul here going against Blackhawk. And look at that last bucket for Homestead. And the foul goes against Drake Sefton, so that's going to be his first of the game. But right now, this Blackhawk offense, they just can't make anything at the moment.
Yeah, they're doing a great job at getting good looks. They just can't quite get them to fall. And again, there, the Spartans is getting another one of their wide open looks to fall with Kuhlman with the scoop layup. 14 straight to start this game for Homestead. Parton throws it out to the corner. Ball almost came free. Mans was able to hang on to it and pass it out. Now back in his hands. Dumps it off to Drake Sefton. Sefton to Mansfield. Rogers got a piece of it, but possession continues again. Mansfield to Parton. Three-pointers up from Sefton, and he gets the first points of the game for Blackhawk. And we're going to get whistles. And no signal yet. I believe they're going to get a foul here called against Blackhawk. And I think it's going to be a flop warning going against Bryce Sefton. So bucket counts. It'll be Homestead ball. And that has to be a relief for the Braves finally get one of their shots going. Maybe that three-pointer going in can get the team to calm down and get back into a rhythm, as right now they're pretty flustered.
Rodenbush and Smith coming in for Homestead. Something we're going to watch. How deep can Blackhawk go? We know Homestead's going to have depth. Blackhawk down 2 players. Can they match? Brogan McNeese also sitting at the table, waiting to come in for Homestead at the next dead ball. Another 3-pointer is up, that time off the mark as Bryce Sefton tried his luck.
And Sefton is a shooter. Once he gets high, it's hard for him to miss, so the Spartans are going to have to do a better job of closing out there. He had the space, just couldn't quite get it to go.
Welker gets the pass from Weaver, now gives it back to him, and he goes up through the contact.
And they're the 2 bigs for the Spartans, just playing the 2-man game down low. Just great ball movement down low, and the Spartans are on a roll.
A 2-man tandem in the paint working right now for Homestead. Briggs on the other end, can't get it to go off the glass. And these possessions, they're going quick for Blackhawk, not really settling in, just kind of putting shots up early.
Yeah, it seems like the Braves are kind of in a hurry. They're trying to get something going quickly as they're starting to feel the pressure from the Spartans as, again, Mac Welker, just a nice spin move there for the layup. The Spartans offense really has not faltered at all, and the Braves offense is trying to match that, but they just seem out of sync.
A Homestead offense that scores 55 per game at the moment, on pace for more than 70, as we're going to get a foul here called against Wyatt Weaver off ball. Brogan McNeese is going to come in and take the place of Weaver after he picks up his first.
And Braxton, you mentioned it about the depth of the Spartans. If the Spartans can get some quick substitutions going, can really catch the Braves off guard, and Spartans can ensure that they always have fresh legs out there ready to go.
Smith commits the foul there to prevent Sefton from getting the easy free throw opportunity. So Drake Sefton will go to the line here for Blackhawk. His brother Bryce has all 3 points right now for the Braves, but Drake will add one in of his own.
And Sefton going to have to step up big time here in this one. He's been a key contributor for this team already, but his play is going to have to exceed his normal rate in this game, as the Spartans right now, they're up to a huge lead, and Sefton is going to have to step up.
Oh, only 40% from the line this season, steps up there, converts both. Just trying to make this deficit as small as possible going into the second quarter. We know this Blackhawk offense has the opportunity to strike, has the potential to strike at any time. They can't let this game get away already. Kuhlman is going to be fouled there. That's going to go against Pardon, is just trying to get to the loose ball. That'll be his first.
And that play is just one of the many plays where this game has gotten very physical. Both teams fighting for the ball. You can tell that both teams really want this win, and the Braves seem to be playing with a fire despite their offense struggling. They're definitely playing more aggressive and with more energy, and I have to imagine it's because they are down 2 people and they feel they are the underdog.
Yeah, they definitely have been very aggressive to begin this game, and there it works right there. They get a steal coming the other direction, and then Welker gets a piece of it right on the other end. It'll stay with Blackhawk, and the Braves are going to get one final look here before the quarter ends.
And if the Braves can get a quick bucket here, that could be a huge momentum shifter going in to the break before the second quarter.
O'Neal has it blocked, and that just sums up the first quarter for Blackhawk. Had a look at the buzzer, and Welker sends it the other way. It is all Homestead in the first 8 minutes of this one as they lead 18-15.
So take me back to last season as a freshman to find out.
Rethink your limits.
Back at Spartan Arena, 1 quarter of play in the books, and it is all Homestead so far, and we knew it was going to be hard for Blackhawk coming out of this game down 2 players, but Homestead really just completely dominating in the first 8 minutes.
Yeah, the Spartans kind of just sensed maybe some blood in the water due to the fact that the Braves are down 2 people, but I surely wasn't expecting the game to look like this so early on, but again, it is very early, so the Braves have a chance to quickly get back into this one, but yeah, the Spartans just complete domination in that first quarter.
Homestead began the game on a 14-0 run, but Blackhawk since then has fought back a little bit. They got a 3-pointer to go their way, got themselves to the free throw line as well, so we'll see what happens here in the second quarter. It will be their ball to begin the period.
And if the Braves can get a nice and easy bucket here, just try to get something going offensively, they can start off their second quarter right and try to cut this deficit down.
So here we go, ball in the hands of Pardon. They tried to run the offense through him in the first quarter. He had no points. See if he can get it going. Homestead's defense certainly has been shading his direction so far in this game. Ball in his hands here. Pardon driving and can't get the roll. It's a pretty good look, just doesn't fall his way. And then Welker forced to burn a timeout as he's falling out of bounds.
Again, Pardon with a nice take to the bucket, but just could not get it to go. Luck isn't on his side in that moment, just rolled around the rim, and that kind of sums up the start for the Braves. Really just cannot get anything going. That's a nice take by Pardon. He's shown the ability to make those layups almost every single time, but Spartans, solid defense, and for the Braves, unfortunately, doesn't go in.
Well, you can't count out Blackhawk. Coach Roth, only 12 career losses as the head coach of the Braves, now in his third year at the school, already 60 career wins. He knows how to get his guys back in the game. So what do you tell your team down big through a quarter?
I think right now you just tell your team to slow down a little bit. They seem to be flustered. They can try to get back into their rhythm offensively, but defensively, like you see here, they go into a full court press, just try to get the Spartans out of their rhythm, just try to get some pressure going, force a Spartan turnover.
Early in the season, especially in the game against New Haven, Homestead has struggled against full court press. We'll see if they figured things out since. Kuhlman has it here for the Spartans. Now Smith, he's going to try the three-pointer. That's off the mark. Rodenbush able to corral the rebound. Now Brogan and McNeese, and that's going to be a charge going against McNeese. That time it was Bryce Sefton able to draw the contact and get the ball going the other way.
And big plays like that, drawing a charge, that's a great way to get some momentum on your team, fuel the fire that you guys are trying to start up. If the Braves can get a bucket here, that play could be a momentum shifter, and it could start a Braves run.
So here we go. Ball passed out in the hands of Reinhardt. Of course, the Homestead transfer. He was a member of the Spartans a year ago, his first time into the game, and he lays it home.
And you have to imagine Reinhardt is definitely going to be playing with some extra intensity here tonight. You see there, just a nice, easy finger roll layup for him.
McNeese on the other end for Homestead. Gets it to Welker, spinning around, goes up, count the bucket and the foul. How about that move from Welker? Fakes to the right, spins the left, and draws the foul from Drake Sefton.
And Welker is so dangerous down low, not because of his strength, but because of his finesse and footwork down there. You see it there. Fake right, go back up left, get the and one bucket to go. Welker's so hard to stop down low.
I talked to Mac earlier this week. He was quick to deflect a lot of the praise. He put it on his teammates, but one thing he did say, he works really hard in the offseason. It's been showing so far this year.
Yeah, you can clearly tell Welker has elevated his game to a new height. I mean, just from his freshman to sophomore season, almost more than doubled his point total, just really contributing even more than the Spartans could ever imagine as a sophomore.
That foul was the second of the game for Sefton. So he's forced to come out of the game. Blackhawk a much different lineup right now as Kyler Wood, the player in his place right now. Ball tipped around. Homestead not able to keep it alive, so Blackhawk will retain possession.
And there are just too many Spartans going for the hustle play. Simple miscommunication can't really happen. Right now the Spartans have a nice lead, but maybe a couple plays like that, the Braves can easily get back into this one.
2-touchdown lead for Homestead right now with Blackhawk trying to cut into it. Ball in the hands of Pardon. Passes out to his left. And again, the ball poked free. Homestead's hands have been everywhere defensively as Bryce Sefton couldn't hang on to it that time.
Yeah, the Spartans, usually they do a great job of applying pressure, but they don't get a lot of those steals that often. And this one, it just seems like anytime they get their hand on the ball, they end up coming away with it.
5.5 steals per game, so nothing too astonishing, although now Blackhawk gets the steal on the other end. So here's Peyton Reinhardt with the ball. Reinhardt's going to go for the mid-range jumper off the mark. Pardon can't corral it. Homestead's got numbers, 3-on-2. Owen Smith passes back, intercepted by Bryce Sefton. Heave down the floor. Pardon has it rejected by Michael Rodenbush. We're going the other direction. Smith to Rogers. Now Welker, three-pointer. He can't finish it off. McNeese gets the board, looking for the putback. He throws it out of play.
And what a sequence of events there for the Spartans. You see the block there by Rodenbush, but Spartans had to slow it down. They were still trying to capitalize off of that momentum, just a little too fast, and ball just gets thrown out of bounds. That can't happen in a moment like that. That could have been a huge turning point and extended the Spartans' lead even more and maybe started a second quarter run.
So 4 of the starting 5 out there right now for Homestead. As Mac Welker goes to the bench for a breather. Rodenbush out there in his place. Reinhardt picks up the dribble, passes back, three-pointer is up, and that time Christian Webster connects.
And the Braves are going to have to rely on a lot of guys like Webster to step up for them right there. Just a nice catch and shoot three in rhythm, just money.
Underneath, Weaver going up. He can't get it to fall. So maybe a little something going here for Blackhawk. Back on the offensive end, Reinhardt. Here we go again, three-pointers up this time. Webster can't get it to fall. Rodenbush passes out to Rogers. Now Kuhlman picks up his dribble. Rodenbush, he's going to drive. A lot of contact, no whistle. Second chance. And poked free. This time there is going to be a foul call. That one, I believe, is going to go against Pardon. We'll wait to see for sure. But if so, that's going to be his second of the game. And there to go, the official call. Briggs Pardon picks up his second. So now a decision to make for Coach Roth, whether to leave him out there or not. Welker's going to come back in for Homestead. Rodenbush goes to the bench. And for the time being, Pardon remains on the floor.
I mean, I feel like you have to keep Pardon in this situation. Welker's back in. He's going to get busy on the offensive side. Pardon is going to have to do the same for the Braves. If you take him out, it's going to be hard for the Braves to combat the Spartans offensively just like that. Rogers, another three-pointer.
Rogers, the co-leading scorer for Homestead in this game with 8. Welker, the other one with 8 in this game so far for the Spartans. Reinhardt with it for Homestead. Almost loses the handle, able to hang on to it. Trying to get this offense set into motion, just playing ISO ball, and connects on the 3.
And there, Reinhardt just saw the mismatch. Weaver on Reinhardt, something that the Spartans cannot allow right there. Just an easy rhythm pull-up 3 for Reinhardt.
Last year, Reinhardt had him falling early in the season from beyond the arc. He struggled since, but gets it to go there, and Weaver gets the jumper on the other side.
Weaver trying to get his get back there after getting scored on, just trying to get it back. But right now, both teams going a little bit back and forth, and the Braves can't afford to go back-to-back, bucket for bucket with the Spartans. The Braves have to try to get some stops together. If they can string some stops and get some good offense possessions, they can get back into this one.
Webster can't connect, so Homestead gets the rebound. And now Kuhlman going to draw the block foul. That was a close call there. As that time it was Wood trying to draw the charge. It certainly could have gone either way. Homestead gets it to fall in their direction this time.
Yeah, there, just a 50-50 call there. Spartans get it there. And it results in a Rogers open look. Can't quite go, but right now the Spartans just seem to have everything going their way.
Pardon on the other end. This time, well, they're going to talk now. It is a foul against Homestead. The question is whether or not the shot counted. And it's a Homestead foul. We're still waiting on the signal. It's a blocking foul. And I believe they're going to say the shot. Well, officials still talking over, so we'll wait and see. But one thing we know, the physical play certainly ramping up with the blocks on back-to-back end blocking fouls. And now all 3 officials huddled together. And I think the blocking foul was the right call. Now the question is just whether it was on the floor or not. And it looks like they are going to say it was on the floor. So the bucket doesn't count, but it will be Blackhawk ball.
I mean, you mentioned it, Braxton, just the physicality of this game continuing to ramp up despite the game continuing to go on. Both teams really want this win really badly in their play, showing that they're not afraid to put their body on the line for any loose ball and for any chance to end the other team's possession early.
Step back is up. Pardon can't get it to go. So he remains scoreless in this game. He was the guy we expected to have a big night. Still time for it, but got to get things going sooner rather than later. Rogers here with it for Homestead. Picks up his dribble. Back to Kuhlman. And now an off-ball offensive foul going the other direction, and they're going to get a Welker for that one. So 3 possessions in a row. We see a foul called. It's going the other way. This time it'll be Blackhawk ball. They're going to make a substitution as Luke Mansfield comes back into the game. And you see Welker there had 17 points in his game last week against Southside. Of course, that was a big win for Homestead. They had to have it to keep their SAC title hopes alive. They got it done. Welker's already got 8 points in this one so far. Reinhardt passes to the top. Now out right. Wood spinning around. Tosses over to Reinhardt. Less than 2 to go in the first half. This first 16 minutes has flown by. Soft toss. Sefton. He's going to go up. Can't connect. Weaver was there defensively. Kuhlman swings to the corner. Rogers triple is drained. Josh Rogers, the first player in this game into double digits.
And again, Rogers just finds himself wide open in the corner. Great transition offense from the Spartans. Braves just not able to close out in time, and Rogers certainly the guy you do not want to leave open.
Wood, as the defense collapses from Homestead, still gets the friendly roll.
There, Wood with a nice just veer step, just slowing his pace down in the paint. That's a big bucket from the freshman, just trying to make any contribution he can to cut this lead down.
And then Kuhlman throws it out of play. Second time this game we've seen some miscommunication from Homestead offensively. There was no miscommunication on that one, though, as Josh Rogers drilled that triple.
Yeah, Rogers just wide open in the corner. Spartans found him. Just a routine catch and shoot 3. And Rogers, he started off the season shooting a little poor, but as of late, he has really picked up his shooting ability and just seemed automatic from downtown.
This time, Kuhlman's going to be the lone starter on the bench for the time being. Rodenbush will come in as the three-pointer is up and in and out. But going back to the lineup, Homestead, they've had 3 or 4 starters out there for pretty much all moments of the game. They're really only rotating 1 or 2 out at a time.
Yeah, and the Spartans, they're keeping the guys out there that they know can make plays. I mean, when some of the subs for the Spartans came in, some mistakes started occurring. And in a game like this against a team as dangerous as the Braves, undermanned or not, you just can't have those mistakes where you're throwing the ball out of bounds. So Coach Johnson definitely not hesitant to pull some players out to ensure the short-term success.
If you're just joining us, Homestead opened this game on a 14-0 run. And that's the difference right now, a 14-point lead for Homestead as we near the end of the first half. Josh Rogers has it for Homestead as the offense gets ready to move into motion. Rogers gets a screen from Weaver. Now we'll hand it off to Welker. Early three-pointer on the clock is no good. Reinhardt's got a chance, and that is no good off the glass. And that'll put an end to the first half. Homestead, a 14-point lead after 16 minutes of play. This team came out firing, just dominant to begin this game, and one of the best halves of basketball they've played this season. Let's see how Coach Johnson's feeling about it. He's standing by with Owen Kruger.
I'm here with Coach Johnson. Coach, you've had a good first half against the Braves. How do you plan on maintaining that momentum as you enter this second half?
Well, I mean, I thought we played pretty well the first 4 or 5 minutes. I think we got up 18-3, playing pretty much even now. But, you know, it's a physical ball game, but we got to make sure that we're playing to our style, getting an inside-out game. But, you know, defensively, I'm pretty pleased.
Yeah. Thank you, Coach. Braxton, back to you.
All right, thank you, Owen. You heard it there from Coach Johnson. Physicality, it's been the name of the game. We've got 16 more minutes of it coming our way. We're going to take a quick break, but don't go anywhere. We're back with the OPS halftime report on the other end.
The Air National Guard allows you to serve your state and country just 1 weekend a month while living your everyday life the other 28 days. You can earn up to $1,200 a month and get 100% of your college tuition paid for. For more information, search Fort Wayne Black Snakes on Facebook or Instagram, or call 260-478-3247 to connect with a recruiter today.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10349 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco's specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carryout by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
For more than 30 years and 2 generations, RT and Colin Green have given Fort Wayne more than proven personal injury representation. They have shared everyday life with the people they serve. These deep ties give RT, Colin, and every member of Team Green Law the local Fort Wayne knowledge and insight to know the best way to help you get the recovery you deserve. See the difference local experience makes. For a free consultation, visit us online at teamgreenlaw.com. Team Green Law, for you, with you.
Rethink your limits.
Marco's Pizza, located at 10349 Illinois Road, inside the shops of Scott Road. Marco's specializes in pizza, cheesy bread, subs, salads, and many other menu items. You can place an order for delivery or carryout by calling 625-6800. That number once again is 625-6800. You can also order online at marcos.com. Thank you, Marcos, for supporting the Point 91 FM and being a proud sponsor of Homestead High School athletics coverage on our station.
Halftime here at Spartan Arena, Braxton Hall, along with Atticus Dean on the OPS halftime report. And if you're just joining us, this game could be a lot worse than what it is right now. Homestead began the game on a 14-0 run. Since then, though, the Braves, they have fought back. They've been even ever since. Obviously down by 14 at the moment. What was the difference for Blackhawk in that second quarter?
They really just started getting to a rhythm offensively. They made some substitutions. Payne Reinhardt came in, got some quick buckets for the Braves, and really it was just they kind of soothed into the game. They let the pressure kind of die down a bit, and they just got into a rhythm, were able to put some points up on the board. As the Braves, they've gotten great looks all game long. They just haven't got them to fall. In the second quarter, they got some of those to fall.
Let's take a look at our first half stats from this one, and of course Homestead had the ball dropping early on. They were just connecting on everything in this game. Of course, individually, Josh Rogers leads the way with 11 points, and right behind him on the lineup, Mac Welker has 8 points in this game. So a couple guys getting things done for Homestead.
Yeah, the Spartans, they seem to continuously find a way to get a couple guys rolling early. In this case, Welker and Rogers just really getting all of their open looks to fall. And it's been dangerous for the Braves defense. When you worry about Welker down low, the Spartans have been kicking the ball out to Rogers and even Welker himself for the tray ball. So right now the Spartans offense just rolling like it has been as of late.
Meanwhile, not a whole lot to speak of in the first half individually for Blackhawk. Several players with 2 or 3 points. And I guess the bright side of that, you have a balanced attack when you're getting the ball to fall, but I mean, you can really tell this team is hurting without Kellen Pickett on the floor.
Yeah, just the 2 losses, especially Kellen Pickett, but also Bryce Lacrosse. He's a great shooter as a freshman. So those 2 offensive weapons gone from your available guys, that really does hurt. And the Braves, again, they've gotten good looks. It just seems they've forced a lot of shots as well, especially Briggs Parton. He's been getting to his spots, but everything seems a little forced. It seems a little rushed. And if he can calm down and just get into a rhythm, he can start to go off and torch the Spartans defense and get the Braves back into this one. But the Braves offense just kind of in a stalemate right now.
And you're absolutely right. I mean, we focused a lot on Pickett, but Lacrosse, he scores 7 points per game. You mentioned it as only a freshman, so that's a huge loss as well, not having him available. Not to mention the depth your team loses when you're down 2 players that see significant playing time. And then as far as Parton goes, we know he's a good player. We know he's talented. He's shown it all season. It didn't show in the first 16 minutes of this game. You have to imagine they're going to try to get it to him some in the second half as well. But from my perspective, it seemed like when he was more of a facilitator, passing the ball around rather than just taking the shots early on, that's when the team was playing better.
Yeah, despite his offensive struggles, he still forces a lot of attention from the Spartans defense. And when he drives, if he's able to kick the ball out to some shooters and the Braves can knock down a couple of shots, they can easily get back into this one quickly. And if Briggs Parton can get some stuff going facilitating-wise, he can easily get the confidence and the momentum back and score some points of his own. So Parton, definitely a player to watch. He cannot put his head down. He has to keep on playing his game and just expect the results to come.
So Blackhawk, if they're going to get back in this game, they've got to share the wealth, spread the ball. Meanwhile, for Homestead, it's looking good so far, a 14-point lead. We know that can evaporate very quickly against the Braves. How do they keep the pedal to the metal for the final 16 minutes?
They need to keep playing physical down low. They need to get the ball inside any chance they get. Anytime they get the ball down low to Welker or Weaver, it's done magnitudes for their offensive performance, whether they go up in the paint or they get a kick-out opportunity for 3. Whenever the Spartans can control the paint on the offensive end of the floor, they play better than their opponent, plain and simple. And right now the Spartans have done that, and that's why they are in control.
It's going to be a fun second half. This one's far from over. We're back to bring it to you in 30 seconds.
Rethink your limits.
Back here at Spartan Arena, getting ready for the second half. Homestead up by 14. It'll be their ball to begin this third quarter. Of course, this game has become one of the favorite matchups among fans in the area. We've got 16 minutes as he will come out on top in this edition. So Weaver tosses it to Kuhlman. Homestead's offense slowed down significantly in the second quarter, where they only had 11 points. They think pick things up again here in the third as Weaver goes up, can't get it to drop. So Blackhawk holds on their first defensive stand. Got to take it one possession at a time and then lay it in on the other end by Mansfield.
And there the Braves push the ball in transition, something that they didn't do enough in that first half. If they can get some quick points before the Spartans defense can set up and apply the pressure, they can get some easy points and get back into this one.
Rogers hands it down low for Homestead. 12 is the smallest deficit Blackhawk has faced in quite some time. So you got to get back into it one possession at a time, although a foul there not going to help the cause. That one's going to be charged to Drake Sefton. And that'll be his third.
Again, the Spartans are trying to get the ball down low to Welker. Sefton has to do a tough task in trying to deny that, and you see there he picked up the foul just a little too aggressive, but if Welker can continue to establish his paint presence, that can open up the Spartans offense like that. Jake Kuhlman with a nice three-pointer to kick things off for the Spartans.
Kuhlman, he has slowed down a little bit these last few games. He was averaging double digits for pretty much the entirety of the first half of the season. He's since dropped 8.5 per game, but that three-pointer seems to work there, and he's still been big on the defensive end out on the floor for Homestead, as that time the lay-in comes from Drake Sefton.
And their Pardon made the hustle play, saving the ball from going out of bounds. And if the Braves can get more plays like that result in easy layups, again, they can cut this deficit, but they have to string some stops together.
Kuhlman thought about taking another shot there, coming off the three-pointer. He is 45% from beyond the arc this season. Welker, he's going inside. He gets the shot to go, no whistle. So, bucket counts. Welker now into double digits with 10 in this game. Second player for Sparty to do so far. Pass down low, and this is going to be a foul going against Rogers as the pass. That time trying to get it to Sefton. Another look at that move from Welker. And on second look, I think that was the right call, or no call, I should say. No offensive foul, and the bucket counts.
Yeah, there's been many times with the officials in this one have had to make the tough choices of either blowing the whistle or not down low, and they're not doing so.
So far, they've been pretty consistent in letting the guys play out on the floor. And that time ball goes out of play as Wood was trying to find Mansfield and just turns it over to Homestead. Coleman will walk it up the floor. Oh, good to Welker. Kuhlman turning around. Weaver, open jumpers up. That one's good. Wyatt Weaver gets the long jumper to fall.
And Weaver, when he's able to knock down his jump shots consistently, that does so much for the Spartans offense. It allows them to space the floor even more, and that's when the Spartans are at their best, when they're able to space the floor.
Pardon almost has it stripped. Instead gets the pass off. Three-pointer on the way. Off the mark from Sefton, but kept alive by his brother. Now the pass. Wood's going to back things out. Now at the top, Wood again with the ball. Pardon still looking to break through for his first points. Sefton's going to try the deep three-pointer. It was an open look, but doesn't go. That'll end up being Homestead ball.
Sefton just really trying to get into a rhythm. Maybe shot there, a little bit of a force, but a shot that he can certainly make at any given moment. But right now, Sefton and Pardon both struggling to get things going offensively, and at this point, it kind of seems like they're forcing some things out there.
Kuhlman bringing up the floor for Homestead. Turning around, has a Welker. Overhead pass to Weaver. Now Welker again with it. Back to Weaver. These two been tandeming all game, and Weaver spins it home.
You have to wonder how much the Braves are missing Kellen Pickett on the defensive side right there. Weaver wouldn't be able to go up with that if Pickett is down low in the paint with that 6'10 frame. Just so hard to shoot over.
Pardon again gets a decent look, but just can't get it to fall. He's seeing ghosts out there right now. Kuhlman spinning around to Rogers. Now Welker. He'll spin to his left and lay it in. So Welker matching Weaver with the spin.
And the go-to move for both of the bigs down low, just a drop step spin, so hard to guard. You don't know if they're going to fake it or go through with it. And Welker, his spin move is pretty nasty.
And the offensive woes continue for Blackhawk. Rogers gets two defenders in the air. Welker from three, and he is feeling it. It's Mac Welker's world, and we're all living in it. He's up to 15.
Welker again, just another Kodak moment for him there. Just another dominant performance so far here tonight. Just showing no mercy for the Braves, who continue to struggle offensively.
Right now, Blackhawk just chucking up three-pointers and hoping something drops. Welker to good and taken away. So here comes Blackhawk on the other side. Down 24. Got to do something quickly. Sefton passes to the top. That's Bryce Sefton for three. He answers back. Bryce Sefton. He's got 6 points in this game. Welker brings it up the floor for Homestead. Now eating good. Weaver tried another spin, stopped halfway through off the mark. Bryce Sefton will bring it up the floor. Tosses to Drake. Now left side, Wood. Drake Sefton. Mansfield. Blackhawk just swinging it around the arc, going for the three. There it is. Short. Long rebound goes to Pardon. He'll turn back around. Bryce Sefton going up and banks it in. So Bryce Sefton trying to put the offense on his back.
There's Sefton, crafty finish, left hand on the right side after the heads-up play there by Pardon, dumping it down. And Braves are now, if they can continue to string some stops together and get some buckets like that, can put themselves in a manageable situation going into the fourth.
And I know it's still a big deficit, but it's the small victories, and the deficit is now back down under 20. So you keep chipping into it. You never know what might happen. Another three-pointer. This time's off the mark, but Drake Sefton there to try to get the rebound. Poked free. Homestead gets it in the end.
And a great hustle play there by Drake Sefton, but Spartans just trying everything in their power to make sure they cannot extend the possession, do a great job there at taking it.
And Welker goes up and lays it in. Bryce Sefton couldn't get to it closing in, and Welker now 17 points in this game. Nearing his season high of 20. Pardon three-pointer is in and out. However, we're going to get a foul. And this one's going to be against Homestead, so it'll stay on this end. And we're going to have some big substitution changes here. Three coming in for Homestead. Brogan, McNeese, Owen Smith, and Michael Rodenbush come into the game. Peyton Reinhardt comes in for Blackhawk. The foul was called against Aiden Good, his second.
And just these substitutions, it may seem a little insignificant, but this tells a story. I mean, the Spartans get three fresh guys while the Braves only get one. You have to wonder if fatigue is also delaying the offensive outpour from the Braves that we know they can put up. I mean, when your opponent constantly has fresh legs and you're starting to get tired, it's hard to get consistent offensive output.
Blackhawks' last game was on Saturday. Reinhardt goes up. He gets it to go. Peyton Reinhardt's got 7 in this game. Pretty good for not playing a whole ton so far. Rodenbush picks up the dribble, goes to Brogan, McNeese, and a blocking foul, so count the bucket and one. The whistle came in late, but McNeese a chance for a three-point play.
And they're a dangerous play by McNeese, to be honest. He lowered his shoulder just a little bit to where it could have potentially been a charge, but official there making the block, and now McNeese at the line to complete the and one.
Yeah, in real time, I was surprised not to hear a whistle. And once I did, I thought it was going to be a charge, but McNeese gets it to go his way. We're going to get some substitutions here. Aiden Good coming in for the Spartans. Meanwhile, Christian Webster comes in for Blackhawk. See, only one guy in the lane there for a potential rebound for Homestead. McNeese is free throw up, and that one is no good, as it's now 1 of 3 on the year from the stripe. So here come the Braves, down 21, late stages of the third quarter. Wood, and we're going to get a foul, and this is going to go against Kuhlman. So that'll be his first of the game. Ball to be thrown in here by Sefton. Wood gets it in the back court. Up the floor, picks up his dribble, and more whistles. Another foul called against Kuhlman, and that'll put the Braves into the bonus at the next foul. They'll be shooting free throws. So Wood with it again here for the Braves. And it will likely be the final full possession here of the third quarter. Reinhardt dishes it. Webster bobbling, goes up and gets it to fall. Now on the other end, Owen Smith, half-court shot is up, and that is short. And that'll put an end to the third quarter. Homestead continues control of this one. They lead by 19 as we head to the fourth. back at Spartan Arena. We're looking forward to that one next Thursday. The Lady Spartans taking on Warsaw. Of course, we have a doubleheader coming your way this Friday on the road at Snyder. It'll be Homestead girls taking on Snyder at 6 o'clock on WCYT. That game could be to determine the SAC, and then Homestead and Snyder for the boys will do battle after that. Two teams trying to keep their title hopes alive. Back underway for the fourth quarter of this one. Woods spinning around. He's going to be fouled from behind. We'll see who they get. I believe it's going to go against Smith, but there were a couple of Spartans in the area, and it is going to be against Owen Smith.
And Wood, just a nice spin move to get in the paint, forcing the Spartans to foul to prevent the easy layup.
So Wood will go to the free throw line here for Blackhawk. Shooting two, the first one is up, and that one is no good. Wood was a perfect 2 of 2 from the line before this trip. See some of the scores on the bottom of your screen there. Bishop Lures, bit of a dogfight against New Haven. Of course, the Lures had a double-digit victory against Homestead earlier in the year. New Haven pulled the upset against Homestead, so those teams doing battle right now. It's a non-conference action. It's a great night of non-conference basketball all around Northeast Indiana as Kuhlman gets the three-pointer to go, and you just cannot leave him that wide open beyond the arc. I mean, I know it's cliche to say that, but 45% beyond the arc, although the Braves answer on the other end.
Webster answering back there with a three-pointer, just trying to keep up with the pace of the Spartans offense, something that they have to do, but really have to focus in on defense. I mean, right there, you mentioned that Kuhlman cannot be that wide open in a situation like this. They have to do a better job of playing defense.
McNeese gets the jumper, so he's got 4 points now in this game. And you mentioned pace, so it'll be interesting to see how much Homestead looks to slow things down, moving to the half-court offense with such a big lead. Here in the fourth quarter, swung out. Reinhardt's going to try the triple. That one's short. Kuhlman up the floor for Homestead. Goes to good. Now Owen Smith. Kuhlman. Chest pass to McNeese. Now Owen Smith. Homestead. Oh, here you go. Here's the half-court offense, slowing things down, taking their time. Kuhlman has an intercept. I mean, Wood just picked that thing out of the sky like it was like a cherry in a tree. Wood tosses out. Webster three-pointer is money. So he's got 3 of them from beyond the arc in this game, and Blackhawks going to call a timeout, but a little bit of a something rolling here in the fourth quarter. Still down 17, but this is more what we expect from Blackhawk.
Yeah, I mean, the Braves right there just turning defense to quick offense. If they can do that more, they can easily climb back into this one. Wood did a great job there, just picking the pass out of the air like he's a NFL DB there, doing a great job finding Webster for the wide open 3, and do not count Blackhawk out just yet. I mean, they are dealing with the clock. I mean, you have to look at that as an enemy in this situation, but they have the ability to go on huge runs and very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not over yet. If you get a couple more possessions like we just saw, who knows, maybe this game could get down to single digits. Of course, that's still a long way to go, but all hope is not lost. And again, we have to reiterate the fact, Blackhawk, of course, they're a school that's the size of a 1A school. They're playing in 3A because they've been so successful. They've won 3 state titles in the last 5 years. Of course, maybe could have been more if the tournament wasn't shut down in 2020. So this team, they're so talented, and they're matching up against a 4A juggernaut here against Homestead, and down 2 players as well. They're still here competing.
Yeah, I mean, the Braves, their culture, they're a winner's culture. I mean, they've come to expect success, and they know how to get there. And against all the odds, they still find themselves in a situation where they can make something magical happen here. Coach Roth can rally his guys to a win here, and this one is very possible. While the Spartans, at this point, Coach Johnson has to be telling his guys to play smart, play their game, and not choke this game away.
Timeout this time called by Homestead. Of course, you mentioned Coach Roth, the former IU basketball player. He's been so successful as a head coach, 60-12 in his tenure as the head coach of the Braves. Following the timeout, Rogers will have it here for Homestead, just over 6 to play. Rogers guarded by Reinhardt, goes to Rodenbush. Now going out to his right, spinning around, Aiden Good to Josh Rogers. Weaver has it. Welker one-on-one, defense crashes. Welker can't get it to fall, tipped out on the ground. Players crash into the floor. Rogers comes away with it. Now Welker on the other side as the possession continues. Weaver finds a cutting Welker left-handed. Gets it to go Mac. Welker just having one of those nights.
And it seems more often than not, Welker has one of those nights. It seems like any game he takes part of, he's just so dominant and just really cannot be stopped. I mean, there, just an easy cut, simple left-hand layup, just outstretched to where no one on the Braves can stop him.
Eating good with it here for Homestead. Now Rodenbush to Weaver. See a lot of cuts starting to come in for Homestead down low. There's Aiden Good trying to get it to him, but poked free by Blackhawk. Pardon going up. And I believe this is going to be a blocking foul, and it will. This is going to go against Homestead. Michael Rodenbush will pick it up. Of course, we're used to seeing him try to draw charges. This time call doesn't go his way.
Still just Rodenbush still putting his body on the line despite the score being in the favor of the Spartans by a long shot. I mean, some guys in this moment, they still wouldn't put their body on the line. They're like, we have a big lead, why risk something happening? But the Spartans, their mentality is that defense wins championships. As cliche as it is, they've really honed in on being a defensive juggernaut.
That free throw there, the first point of the game for Briggs Pardon. It's the second one to go as well, so it took a lot longer than we expected, nearly 27 minutes, but he's into the scoring column.
And maybe just seeing those two free throws go in can cause a huge scoring output late for Pardon. I mean, he's going to have to do it in a timely manner as the Spartans offense shows no signs of slowing down.
And that's a new season high for Mac Welker. He's got 21 points in this game so far. 2025 has been all his as ever since the holiday tournament, and even a little bit during and before. He has just been dominating for Homestead.
The holiday tournament really did something for the entire Spartans roster as well, not just Welker. I mean, ever since that tournament, they've been playing so well, and their shot-making capability seems to have gone much, much better after the tournament. You see there, Rodenbush with a nice layup, tough layup down low, and the Spartans, ever since the holiday tournament, have just looked like a new team, quite frankly.
They only dropped one game during the tournament. Of course, that was a heartbreaker against Valparaiso, and then they have not dropped one since. After a couple of early season defeats, Weaver with the easy lay-in.
And right now, the Spartans just completely controlling the pace of the game on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, forcing Braves to force some shots and just getting easy pick and steals like that and really just slowing it down and pulling it for the best shot possible, except Rodenbush is feeling good.
And in the end, it's going to go out of play off of Homestead, but I mean, up 23, why not take your shot? See if you can get it to fall. We're going to get some substitutions here as Blackhawk going to send some guys back into the game who we saw earlier. Interesting is you see O'Neal coming back into the game. I'm surprised we haven't seen more from him. He started the game. He got a couple looks in the corner, but he's been on the bench a lot of the night. You have to wonder, could this game have been a little bit different? Obviously, you wouldn't expect that to make a 23-point difference, but could it be a little bit different if he was able to be out there on the floor a little bit more in this game? The ball's in his hand now. Pardon going up, trying to draw a foul, no luck. Welker looking to drive, goes up, runs into a wall. Two Blackhawk defenders there to shut him down. And Wood throws it ahead. O'Neal has it tipped off the backboard and we're getting a foul called against Homestead. Going for the loose ball. They'll charge that one to Welker. That's his second.
You see there just physical play on both sides of the ball, and the rest have been pretty consistent with what they are calling and what they aren't calling there. Arms tangled up. O'Neal just feeling the pressure from the Spartans and got the foul call.
Jake Kuhlman coming back in here for Homestead as Wyatt Weaver goes to the bench. Kuhlman bringing up the floor for Homestead. Less than 3 to go. Coolman spinning around. Good to Rogers. Aiden Good with it, floats it up, sits on the rim and falls. Aiden Good has 6 on the evening.
The Spartans just getting buckets from about anyone on their team. Everyone on the Spartans has really made almost every shot they've gone up with. And kind of the opposite story you see here. Aiden Good, just a nice floater, sits on the rim, but really an opposite story for the Braves in this one. They've gotten great looks, but they just have not gotten them to fall consistently like they are used to.
Pardon back to the free throw line, misses the first after going 2 of 2 on the last go around. Some more score updates there. Snyder ahead of East Noble. Of course, the Panthers will be the opponent for Homestead coming up on Friday. These two teams actually very similar schedules to close out the second half of the season. Homestead, much of SAC play still to go. Blackhawk, obviously independent, but they play most of the SAC teams here in the final month and a half of the regular season. As we're going to get some more substitutions. Evan England going to come in for Homestead. And substitution going to be coming in. Levi Selke, you see on your screen there, also into the game for Homestead. Luke Metzler going to come in here for the Braves. And Owen Salik as well. So both teams kind of acknowledging the game is over, making some changes to their lineups here for the final 2+ minutes. Welker to Coolman. Of course, Welker, he has had an amazing night, 21 points. Coolman, he's got 8 in this game. He's had a decent evening as well. 3-pointer is up. That's off the mark from Sefton. Coolman throws it back to Selking. Levi Selking ahead to Welker. Maybe thought about it for a second. Said he's just going to drive. Tries to throw it down. Can't convert, but he will be going to the free throw line after a hard tumble.
Bit of a scary fall there from Welker, but good sign for the Spartans that he's able to limp on his own power. Certainly shaking them after that. Went for the one-handed stuff, just kind of put the exclamation mark on this one, but good sign that he's up and walking.
Yeah, I bet you can tell Coach Johnson is going to be telling him not to do that one again. Don't want to risk getting him hurt here in the final couple minutes of this one. Is the first one good from Welker? Is this a season high for him? So try to keep those numbers up. There's more substitutions. Sky Dollins comes in here for the Spartans. Owen Smith also coming back into the game. Welker, his second one, that one good, and that'll do it for the evening for Mac Welker. Braylon McNeese will take his place. Welker getting an ovation from the crowd as he heads to the bench. Likely done for the night with 23 points. On the other side, Blackhawk. 90 seconds and change to go. All passed around at the top. That's what I thought about it. Now O'Neal. Wood. He's going to spin around, gets a look off the side of the backboard. Braylon McNeese gets the rebound. We'll bring it up across the timeline. McNeese out to the corner. Evan England. England, hop step. Shot's no good. Loose ball. England comes away with it somehow. Good hustle from him. Now Dollins to Owen Smith. Selking. 60 seconds to play in Spartan Arena. Smith's going to pop the three-pointer. And Owen Smith, I mean, this dude somehow, time after time, gets the three-pointers to fall and gets another one to drop there. Metzler with it. 45 seconds to play. He's going to try to match on the other side. That's off the mark. Braylon McNeese with it for Homestead. Now Selking has it. See if Homestead tries to get one more shot or if they just dribble out the remainder of the clock. England's going to try the three-pointer. That's no good. Is that the first three-point attempt of the season for Evan England? Just a second field goal attempt overall. Wood has it poked free. And that might end up being the final possession of the game for Blackhawk. Coach Johnson calling off the dogs, and that's going to do it. Homestead avenges 2 straight seasons of defeats against Blackhawk, and they dominate this one, winning by 29, 67-38.
Spartans just coming in on their home court, just taking care of business in this one, and just a dominant performance from start to finish. Again, the offensive output of the Spartans just unmatchable in this one by the Braves, and as of late, the Spartans offense has just been clicking on all cylinders.
And this Homestead offense, something has changed in this second half of the season. They are looking really good. They're looking really dangerous. That shows in this one as they get the big victory, and just a good performance from Homestead in this game from top to bottom. Firm control from beginning to end. Of course, open on a 14-0 run, get the win. Big reason for that, Mac Welker, and he's standing by with sideline reporter Owen Kruger.
We're here with Mac Welker. Mac, what a really good win. Starting off 14-0, talk about that aggression from tip-off from the team.
Yeah, we just knew what had to get done, and we were just going to come out ready to play. We were practicing all week, trying to keep prepared, and just listen to coach, and we just came out with all that energy and just translated.
You yourself had a really great game today with 23 points and 9 rebounds. Kind of talk about putting the team on your back. What's going through your mind in such a good game like this?
You know, it was just a good win. You know, my teammates got me involved. Like, we just stuck to the game plan and just got the job done at the end of the day.
So a couple hard games coming up on the schedule with an away game at Snyder. How can the team prepare to stay as dominant as they were today?
You know, just keep this energy going, keep our streak going. You know, we got energy right now, playing good as a team. We're just going to try and continue that.
Thank you, Mac. Thank you. Braxton, back to you.
All right, thank you, Owen. And Atticus, usually I ask you the player of the game. I think this is a pretty easy pick. I mean, Mac Welker, what a performance from him. You heard in the interview, 21 points, 9 rebounds, just one shy of a double-double. And, I mean, just dominating this game. And it's not just this game. It's been these last few games, these last few weeks. He is so consistent for Homestead. He really hasn't had a bad game of late.
I mean, Braxton, you kind of just said everything I was planning to say there. I mean, what else can you say? Mac Welker just looking just so dominant as of late for the Spartans. He's really upped his performance. I mean, we knew coming in this year he's going to have a much better sophomore season after getting the varsity experience as a freshman, but I don't think anyone expected performances like this and this consistent from Welker. I mean, his ability to take over the game in an instant is unheard of, really, and he's going to be an exciting watch all season long in his future years at Homestead.
Let's take a look at the team stats in this game, and you see them on your screen there. So both teams got a pretty even number of looks, but Homestead more than doubling Blackhawk from the field. 2 more three-pointers, 50% from beyond the arc. Good showing there. Free throws, both teams pretty even, but Homestead out-rebounding. Really, if there's any criticism of the Spartans in this game, it's the turnover department.
Yeah, the turnovers, just 11 turnovers, just a few too many. Few more than the Spartans would have liked, I'm sure. Coach Johnson's definitely going to make a point of that. But, I mean, really from stat to stat, the Spartans really just controlled everything. I mean, winning the rebounding battle by almost 10 is huge. And when you shoot over 50% from the field and 50% from 3, I mean, there's really not much the other team can do to beat you. When you have the ability to make that many shots in a game, there's not much that can go wrong for you.
So looking forward, it's not going to get any easier for Blackhawk. Their next game against arguably the best team in the SAC. They take on Bishop Luers. Now, assuming Kellen Pickett and Bryce Lacrosse are healthy, it's going to be a different team that the Braves are going to be putting out when they have that game on Saturday. But what does this team need to work on based off the performance tonight?
I think they need to work on getting into a rhythm offensively quicker. There were many times in this game where their shots weren't falling. There's not really anything you can do about that, but there were moments where players were trying to play hero ball, and the ball was sticking to their hands too much. If you can get the ball moving, try to get some easy layups, some cuts, just more motion on the offensive end, that'll help you offensively. And really trying to work on getting more rebounds. Obviously, it's a different story with Kellen Pickett. I mean, he can really get any rebound that's even near him. I mean, he's tall, lengthy, but as a team, you have to be able to rebound as a team. Every guy has to be able to box out, so that's something the Braves also need to work on.
We'll see what happens. Meanwhile, Homestead, big one coming their way on Friday, and really, I say big one. Every conference game from here on out is a big one because it's games you got to win to keep your title hopes alive. What does this team need to take from this performance into that game on Friday?
They need to continue their balanced offensive attack that they have had as of late, as they've done a great job at mixing the low post game with their space three-pointing offense. I mean, really just balancing their offense is something that they need to continue to do, as it's been huge for them. When you can get Welker down low and on the three-point line, we can get Kuhlman getting going from three, Rogers, when you get Weaver down low. I mean, the Spartans have all the potential in the world to put up this many points every single night if they just keep up their strategy on offense.
Well, with that, we're going to wrap things up here from Spartan. You see those games on your screen next Tuesday. That'll be our next video broadcast. It'll be the Lady Spartans taking on the Warsaw Tigers. But we have a couple games coming up this weekend, and it all begins on Friday, a doubleheader on WCYT Radio. Girls at 6, the battle for the top of the SAC, and then the boys to follow at 7:30. Going to be a great night of basketball. We hope you catch us there on WCYT.org and, of course, 91.1 FM. Until then, on behalf of the entire team, Owen Kruger and Malachi Stout in the studio, and color commentator Atticus Dean, I'm Braxton Hall saying so long from Spartan Arena.